Good morning, guys. So let's see how to connect SSMS with the option of SQL Server authentication. So for that, we need to connect for Windows authentication because of we need to create a logins for that. So first, let me go with the Windows authentication and connect. This is the server, right? Our local server. So if you right click on the particular server, there is a properties window. Go to properties and under the security tab. So currently it is under Windows authentication mode. So we need to connect SQL Server and Windows authentication mode, both, right? So we need to click on this one and click on OK. So it says whenever you are changing something, we need to restart the SQL Server first. So click on OK and then close the SSMS. And at the taskbar, you can search services. Go to services. There you just find out SQL Server. Just scroll down, or if you type yes, it will go to the S categories. There you can able to see SQL Server Express. So currently it is running mode. If you see the status, currently it is running. So but we need to restart the SQL Server first. So right click on that, restart. See, it has been restarted and again it is under running state. So close this one. Again, just reconnect SSMS. Whatever the changes under the properties, the changes will be applicable now. Now we need to create logins. So if you want to create login with the SQL Server authentication, we need credentials, right? So for that, we need to create a login. So let's go with the Windows authentication first and go to the security tab. There is a logins window, right? So if you click on toggle option, these all are system defined logins only. So right click on the logins, click on new login. So you need to give login name. Login name means your username. So I will go with MSBI and click on SQL Server authentication. You need to give password. Then if you come down, no need to change anything. This is the general tab and go to the server roles. So by default, public has been enabled. So you need to enable sysadmin as well because you will be the admin for your server. Then again go to user mapping. So what and all the databases you have here, it will be available. And what you need, if you want to get the permissions for all the database, you can check all. I want to get only MSBI and master. So by default, public will be there under the membership. You need to check in DB owner as well. And then go to secureable. Nothing will be there to change. And status as of now grant and enable. And click on OK. Okay, MSBI is already existed. I'll give the name too. So login has been created. If you see under the logins, MSBI2 has been created. Now let's disconnect the SQL Server and reconnect again. Now I'll go with the SQL Server authentication mode. So my username is msql2. So first time it will ask, I'm going to create a new password. For the first time only, it will not ask every time. Then okay, it will be connected. So if I reconnect again, if I disconnect and reconnect again, it will not again ask again the new password and confirm the password. So for the first time only, it will ask to confirm with a new password. So connected, right? This is the process to go with the SQL Server authentication. So we need to see how to export or how to import, how to restore the AdventureWorks DB into the SQL Server. So go to the Google and search AdventureWorks database download and click on the link. There are multiple versions are there. So as of now, I have installed 2019 version. So I'll go with the 2017. So if you have installed 2022, you'll go with the 2019. So 1 year back version I have to go. So click on AdventureWorks 2017 backup file. This is the DB. So all the things, whatever the options, whatever the facilities available in the DB, all the things will be available. So by default, there are multiple tables. By default, there are multiple views. By default, there are multiple store procedures as well. But this is not mandatory. So once we have completed basic, there are some concepts, right? So at that time, we don't have time to create the tables on that. So we'll work on the sample tables. This is the sample DB, I can say. So it is still downloading. Once it got downloaded, go to the file where it got downloaded and right click on it, cut it. Because I need to restore the DB in a SQL Server, right? So because of that, I need to place this backup file under the SQL Server backup folder. So cut it on this, go to the PC and local disk. There is program files. Click on program files. Go to the Microsoft SQL Server and this is the expression. MS SQL 15.SQL Express. Click on it. Go to MS SQL. Here is the backup folder. Here you need to place that backup file. SQL Server back databases. So I am going to restore the database here, right? So right click on the database. There is an option restore database. Click on restore database. So I'm not going to restore a database under the SQL Server, right? The backup file is there in my local. So click on device. And there is an option to browse your file. Click on this. Add your path. So by default, it's there. If you see here, under Microsoft SQL Server Express, there is a backup folder. Under the backup folder, there is a file, backup file. So click on backup file. Click on OK. Okay. This is the one. So restore and what's the name and component is database, type is full and server database position. All the things here it is given. So once it is there, file has been placed, click on OK. Now it is going to restore the DB. So restored successfully, click on OK. So by default, DB has been restored successfully under the database. This is the user-defined databases. Whatever the DBs are available outside of system databases, these all are user-defined. Whatever you are going to create, that is user-defined. System-defined only we have 5 already I said. master, model, MSDB, TempDB, and there is one DB, resource DB, that will not visible here. It's like it will be there in the backend. Some of the interviews will ask this question: how many DBs are available in SQL Server and what is the default database? So default database is master database. That is, whenever you are going to connect SQL Server or whenever you open new query, by default master database will be connected. See, master database. Now if you open Adventure Works database, so by default all the options will be available. So there are multiple tables. Again, there will be views, there will be store procedures. You'll get to know further. See, there are multiple store procedures as well. See, if you see the table information, right click on it, select top 10,000 rows. This is the data which is having that particular table.